Okay, so the next benefit I have for you, Alex, is super important. It's critical because it deals with our child's safety. Okay?
Okay.
You know, parents tell me that the number one fear they have is abduction. Now, we've all had that feeling. You turn around, the child's missing, you don't see the child, you freak out, then they come running back and everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of parents wonder, if my child were to be abducted, would I have the proper information to get into the hands of authorities in order to get my child found? And that's where these come in. These are our child safe kits. Now, these work hand in hand with the Amber Alert. Are you familiar with the Amber Alert?
Of course, yeah.
Do you know how long it takes on average in New York State for the Amber Alert to be activated?
No idea.
It can take up to 9 hours.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, this kit can cut it down to 3 minutes or less.
Wow.
Okay, so this is really important. So this is what you do. On the front, you're going to put the child's name, put the date that you fill out the kit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to open it up. This is going to be all the child's personal information. So anything that is permanent, like eye color, you're going to write in pen. Things that can change, though, like height and weight, you're going to put in pencil. So this is going to cover all their information, including medications, allergies, and mom and dad's information is going to go down here at the bottom. Over here, we have a place for the photo. Okay, so this photo is updatable, and we recommend that you update it every 6 months. What I like to tell families is that when the clocks change, you set that clock forward or backwards, update this photo. You'll put the age that they are in the photo, and you're going to put the date that the photo was taken. When you open it up, we have a fingerprinting strip right here. It just peels back. It is wet on both sides. What you're going to do is you're going to do the right hand first and then the left, just so you don't smear across. Up in this section, we have physical characteristics. So, for example, birthmarks, scars. Let's say they have a birthmark on the right arm. You're going to put a mark here. You're going to put over here A, birthmark, right arm. These identifiers are the things that really help children be found quickly. Over here is a place for a DNA sample. So what you're going to use is a hair follicle. The DNA is in the follicle, so you need to pull out the whole hair. You can't just cut it off. And you're going to tape that here. And then on the back is the most important information. This is where you're going to talk to your children about 911 and the dangers of strangers. Now, a couple of the things that I really like to go over with the families is the importance of a code word and a passcode. So, for example, I like to tell families, actually, for starters, never put your child's name anywhere that a stranger can see it, okay, like their backpack. Okay, so let's say, somebody comes up to Olivia, sees her name on her backpack, says, hey, Olivia, your parents have been in an accident. I need to take you to the hospital. You got to go with me. She might go.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they know her name. She might think that's okay. So this is where a passcode comes in. So let's say the code, the password, celery. Okay? Mm-hmm. You need to send somebody to go pick Olivia up at school that maybe she's not familiar with. You let them know the password. They're going to go up there and say, hey, Olivia, your mom needed me to pick you up at school. The password is celery. Olivia knows this person's good to go. Another thing is the code word. Okay? So this would be something like soccer ball. All right? So Olivia's at a friend's house. She's having a sleepover. Something happens that makes her uncomfortable. She can call or even text you the word and be like, hey, mom, hey, dad, could you bring me my soccer ball? And now you know that something's up and you can get over there immediately. Okay? Do you understand? Can you see how important these are?
Absolutely.
They did an amazing job with these. So when we sat down with the International Union of Police, we told them we would get these kits out to 100% of the community. Now, in all reality, with our limited time and resources, is that really going to be possible?
No.
Probably not. But what they do allow you to do is to send these kits up to six families that you know and love, okay? You have to be very selective, though, because you're only allowed 6. But who are the families that if you got a phone call today saying my child's missing, you would drop everything and go help search for that child?
My brother Mark.
Okay. Keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mark. And does Mark have a spouse or a partner?
Yeah, Melissa.
Melissa. And is their last name the same as yours?
Yeah, Johnston. Yep.
Okay. And let's see, what do they do?
Oh, Mark's actually a contractor.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm not really sure what Melissa does.
That's all right. And what city are they in?
Waterloo.
Waterloo. It's beautiful out there.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And their phone?
315
Mm-hmm.
521 5656.
Okay.
That's my brother.
Your brother.
He's got 2 kids.
All right. All right, next.
Perfect.
Oh, thank you. All right. All right, so based on the survey, this is what you've qualified for, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Premier Family Care Plan, and your contribution to this plan, should you choose to enroll, is going to be $38.22 a week, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's $38.22 a week? How do they come up with this number? So they do this based on what's called the hour power principle. So the idea is you take 1 hour of your work week, pay yourself first,
Mhm.
okay? Take your other 39 hours plus overtime, do with it what you want, but you can sleep at night knowing that the gaps are filled and your family's covered, okay? So let me put it this way. If I were to come to you and say, hey, you're going to work an extra hour, I'm going to put you on a 41-hour work week. Are you guys going to go buy a brand new car, hug each other, say, hey, baby, we made it?
No.
No, most definitely not. If I were to reverse that, though, and say, hey, you're only going to work 39 hours a week, are you guys going to sell off everything you own in order to make it?
No, absolutely not.
No. So that's the whole concept behind this, okay, because it needs to be affordable,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Perfect.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Have you ever been on the financial side of arranging a funeral?
No, I can't say that I have.
Do you know anybody that has? Have you seen?
Yeah, I've seen people go through it. Yeah, I've had people pass away in my life. The last one was back in January. A good friend of mine.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, if I remember correctly, he didn't really have anything in place, so the family had to all come together. But
yeah,
they couldn't really afford a traditional, so they ended up going cremation. It's expensive.
it is.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
expensive, and the thing is, I think what most people don't realize is that insurance companies are not handling things the way they used to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it used to be that if something, were to happen to Brittany,
Mm-hmm.
you would take that $50,000 policy you have at work, and it would serve as collateral for the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not doing it like that anymore. In fact, insurance companies used to have up to 24 days to pay,
Oh wow.
but now they actually have up to 60.
Wow.
And do you know why they would do that? Why they hang on to that?
Probably interest, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
interest. Millions and millions that they make off of the interest. It shouldn't work that way. The average cost of a funeral is $14,000.
Holy smokes! Yeah.
Another thing that's going on actually is there are 2 groups, okay? One is SCI out of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The other one's the Alderwood group out of Canada. And what these guys are doing is they're going around, they're buying up all the mom and pop funeral home and cemeteries, okay? Their goal is to be the Walmart of the funeral industry. But here's the thing. They want up to 50% of the cost up front.
Wow.
So, I don't know your financial situation, but most of the families that I sit down with, they don't have an extra $7,000 just sitting around for a funeral. And even if they do, they need those costs because there's so many other bills that come in afterwards. So that's why they came up with this. This is called our freedom of choice. So the way this works, okay, is let's say something were to happen to you, Alex, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Brittany's going to take this certificate. She's going to take it into any funeral home, okay? They're going to accept it. They're going to love it. It's backed by powerful unions like yours. What she's going to do is she's going to negotiate a price, and she's going to put that price in here. She'll fill out all the details of the funeral, because you mentioned you wanted traditional.
Mm-hmm.
She'll fill all that out. She'll date it. She'll sign it. She can go home and be with the family.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that exactly. As long as she keeps the cost of your funeral under $37,000, and you keep the cost of Brittany's funeral under $37,000, you're covered. Now, these are two very important numbers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because what's going to happen is after she leaves, first thing they're going to do is they're going to call our corporate office. It's a 315 number. They're going to ask us two questions. Number one, are you enrolled in the program? After tonight, you will be. That's not a problem. Number two, they're going to say how much money they have to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we tell them you have $37,000 to work with, what do you think that funeral is going to cost?
$36,999.
Exactly. You know, and it shouldn't work that way, and we don't let it work that way. What's going to happen is we're not going to give them that number. We ask that you never give them that number. We're going to cut them a check for the amount that was negotiated. Not a penny more, not a penny less. The remainder would be cut as a check, and it would go directly to Brittany and the kids, okay?
Wow.
Yes. It's a wonderful, it's an amazing benefit. I mean, basically, it's a blank check for $37,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you understand how that works?
Yeah.
Fabulous. The next thing is that a lot of families don't have what's called paycheck protection. So let's say something happened to you, Alex, and you were, unexpectedly taken away from Brittany. Would she still continue to receive your paycheck every week?
No.
Oh, the living benefits. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They're just moderate.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So down here is probably one of the most important benefits that we have. This is why most people enroll.
Mm-hmm.
It's a living benefit. So I'm going to stop getting you killed, and I'm just going to get you hurt now, okay?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, anytime. So what this does, okay, so this first one, if you were to get injured, okay, you would go seek care within 72 hours, okay, of this injury, and we're going to pay you $200. Now, this is for any type of, pretty much any type of accident. So say, a bad reaction to a bee sting, a cut that needs stitches, a chemical in your eye that needs to be flushed out. It's not internal stuff. I have a fever, I don't feel good, okay? But you go, you seek care. What's your deductible if you go to the emergency room? Like $100?
Yeah, my copayment's like
your
$100.
copay?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Apologize. So, you're $100 in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
You had to take time off of work. So what we do is we're going to pay you $200. Like I said, emergency room, urgent care, within 72 hours, and it's unlimited, okay? So if you go 3 times a year, that's an extra $600 in your pocket. Comes directly to you. Down here, we have our hospital benefit, okay? You get up in the morning, you got to run out to the store to grab some milk for your cereal. You check both ways at the intersection, you go through, but some idiot runs the stop sign, T-bones you, and next thing you know, you're in the hospital. So some pretty bad things are going to happen to you guys, aren't they, financially?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're obviously not bringing in any money. You're in the hospital. Brittany's not working because she's by your side. So what this benefit does is pays $400 per day that you're in the hospital, up to 365 days per occurrence, okay? So let's say you're in the hospital for 10 days this month, something happens next month, you're in for, another 5 days, that 365 days is going to start over, okay? So if you're in the hospital for 10 days, what we're going to do is we're going to cut a check for $4,000, tax-free money. It's not going to the doctors, it's not going to the hospitals, it's coming to your house, okay? You can do with it what you want. And then if it were to be worse than that and you find out, you end up waking up in the ICU, the intensive care unit, we're going to actually pay $800 per day that you're in the ICU for up to 14 days.
Wow.
Okay? Now, it's capped at 14 days, but after that 14 days, it's going to revert back to this $400. Okay? Do you understand how that works?
Yeah.
Now, this is really great. I mean, you can get this through other companies, like Aflac, Aetna combined. But it'll cost you $60 to $80 per person.
Holy smokes.
So you're getting, all your living benefits, your what ifs covered, your child rider, both of your incomes protected, both of your funerals taken care of, all for that pizza and wings per week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Close. close it. Yeah.
Okay. So, but another option you have is what we call option B. Okay. So that would put it at $34.70 a week. Funeral benefit would be $20,000. You have to keep your funerals under $20,000 a piece. But here's what's amazing: all these other numbers I just showed you, they stay the same.
Wow.
Yes. So most families go with option A, but do what works for you. Which option works best for you?
Perfect.